If you've ever woken up and been given a short report for you to trade a stock on today, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. I got really good news for you. Today is the start of the NHL season. NHL puck drop officially starts today, 4:30 in the afternoon. So before that happens, there's money to be made, and we are going to take care of that. Let's get it rolling.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Good morning, folks, and happy Tuesday. Unbelievable interview with Zunaid there and Andrea. I am actually pulling for her. That is incredible. Good luck to all of that. Thank you all for joining us here today. We are going to break down the market, and guess what? I have a surprise. Because of that interview, we got 13 with us right from the get-go. 13, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing all right. Just dropped the kids off early, so here I am.
Here you are, and here we go. We are, of course, going to start with the SPY as we always do. Yesterday, we finally got a bear day, and of course, what did I do on happy hour? Yep, you guessed it. I said we will probably trade down to the 50, so of course, the SPY is higher here today in the pre-market. That's how it works, it appears. Now, we're still under this trend line, which is really it's as far as like the technical spot that we're at. That's really what I'm looking at. And then the other thing that I'll be looking at, the specific level itself here, is going to be 572. 572. If we stay under that, we're actually going to stay under the top of this candle. It's got it marked at 571.96, but I'm calling it 572. So we will not have broken yesterday's intraday high if we stay under that 572, and thus more move down to the 50-day could be on deck here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Very, very simple here on the SPY. 13, before I move on to the stuff that's going on here, do you have anything on the SPY that you'd like to cover?
Well, let me point out your 572 level. That's actually a previous all-time high at 572.10. So that's, I think, a very good point about that particular level that you have there. We are inside the candle we formed yesterday. So yeah, I'm not really sure on the price action at the moment, but that's going to be the upside, level that we could get to that you mentioned. To the downside, it'd be the previous all-time high of 568.69. We were trading beneath that and closed beneath that yesterday after testing that as support and then as resistance. We even got down as far as 566.58. So that was also a previous all-time high as well. That's going to be the next two levels I'm going to be watching for. But we also have the 20-day SMA in between those two at 567.24. So those are going to be the downside support levels should we get bearishness today.
Okay. Sounds really good there. Media Horde, hello. I see 572.5, and then we poop the bed. Okay, well, Tuesday morning, we don't want to be pooping any beds. We will see if we do come back in. I kind of think that maybe a little bit of a move higher. Like we already kind of got it here in the pre-market. It'd be interesting to see if we get more in the regular session, but a move up followed by a rollover and a move towards the lows wouldn't really surprise me at all. In fact, I think that could easily happen. I feel like that could easily happen. So, okay. And then Elon asking here, Ryan and 13, do the Qs look like a rising wedge formation? Yeah, kind of. So I think what you're talking about here is going to be something like this, and then something like this, right? This is your rising wedge that you're talking about. Yes, absolutely. I would say that is on there.
Looking at this, it looks like it would need. It could go on for a bit longer. There's definitely some space in between the top and bottom of the trend lines, so that make up the rising wedge. So we could continue to see it bounce around in here, for the next month maybe. But you do have some resistance levels that you can look at for if you want to go long on the SQQQ if you think it's going to reverse and go down. Alternatively, you can do the same thing on the bull side once we get to a support level. And it's been bouncing between this pretty nicely. So the last time that we got a rejection to the upside was back on September 26th, and now we're headed down to the support area. So I'll be somewhere maybe just beneath 475 or around 475 might be the next support area that we get for the Qs. So that's what I'd be looking for as a result of this rising wedge. Maybe we also end up breaking down out of the rising wedge as well. That's how these resolve. They end up going breaking down to then go lower. So
okay, awesome. Elon, you didn't even ask for that for what's going to happen next. 13 gave it to you anyway. Bonus content early on here. Also, this is pretty sweet. We actually have 2 Elons. Great to see Elon's influence still shining. Okay, let's go ahead and roll through the. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, let me cover one of the things that just happened here. Roblox. We had a Hindenburg short report out for Roblox here, and as you can see, they're trading lower. If I'm going to go to the intraday chart here, so you can see exactly what's going on. This happened during the last show. This is still fresh. If anyone wants to go over this, here is the Hindenburg report. Of course, that's going to be in the Benzinga Pro news feed. But for you non-Benzinga Pro members, what are you doing? But also, there's the link in the chat. So if you want to read through it, go ahead. A couple of things here real quick. So we've talked a lot about some of these different short reports and how they carry different weight and this, that, and the other thing. And I want to give a really good example here of why that's the case. And one of the things that we talked about recently is that Hindenburg does a better job. They're research only. They really seem to do their homework. And as a result, the stocks respond to those reports more so than others. Let me show you something here real quick on Roblox. We're going to go ahead to the news feed and we're going to go back to October 3rd. You'll notice that in the morning we had a newsprint here. Roblox, the Bear Cave, issued 4th report on the company titled Problems at Roblox. Here, I'm going to go ahead and give you this so you can compare and contrast. Here's the Bear Cave one. The one thing that kind of jumps out to me is that the Bear Cave short report, I understand it's the 4th one. It's the most recent one. This focuses on a list of issues where children had trouble because of the Roblox environment, which is incredibly sad and incredibly terrible. Oh, and you know what? I'm not sharing it. Here it is. But if you go over to the Hindenburg one, you do have some mention of that, but you also have mentions about their financials. They also clearly have research details on this report. And so I'm not at all surprised to see the stock reacting more to the Hindenburg report than the Bear Cave report. The whole reason I wanted to bring this up is because I wanted to show an example on the same stock of how different short reports, how vastly different they can be. And I think that this illustrates it pretty well. Getting to the stock itself here, you can see that we are actually making higher lows here in the pre-market. I would caution you. Let's see what the opening print on this does. I think that you might have an opportunity to trade this in both directions here today. I think you might be able to short, and you actually might be able to play some dead cat bounces on Roblox. So that's what's going on. Short reports in the chat there. If you need more information, you should be able to get whatever you need.
2 things that I see about this. For one, this formation you have right here, that looks bearish as hell. I think this is going to probably drop out of the open. That would be my guess.
And you know what, 13, I understand it's a 1-minute chart and stuff changes, but you are absolutely right. And to me, it seems like the safest thing here, just wait for that opening print. Wait it out. See what happens.
The second thing is that it's kind of surprising that it took, I guess, Hindenburg this long, because for a long time, I've been kind of scratching my head as to why this is kind of still, around. This company does nothing but lose money. It's ever since it IPO'd, it has done nothing but lose money every quarter. I've been wondering when this is going to get hammered on some kind of a report, because I never felt like these financials really made sense. I can see that the revenue's been growing, but they just can't seem to get the costs down. So I just have been scratching my head for the longest time on this. So it's nice to finally see that somebody called out their financials, because they are bullshit.
Yep. Nope, with you on that. Again, let's see what happens here on Roblox, but that's what's going on. Okay, I'm going to run through the movers here real quick. Then we can come back and take a look at whatever you folks want right ahead of the bell. We actually don't have a whole lot of stuff here. I'm actually going to close these tabs too. We don't have a whole lot of stuff here, so this really shouldn't take all that long. First stock here is going to be On Track. This is ticker OTRK. I don't see any news here other than Form SC. It looks like we had a purchase yesterday in the after hours. And that is driving the stock up 68% here today. So you can see the impulse move from that stake with a regression back to the mean. When the pre-market session opened, we actually set some new highs, and now we're holding right near the top of that impulse move. What I'd like to see here for a day trade is the expanding volume out of the open and then through that VWAP. I am encouraged that the stock is not breaking down yet, but there's going to be plenty of time for that to happen. So OTRK, this is kind of what we're looking at here. Might as well check on some of the other stuff. We do have an elevated short interest recently here, and then a quick peek at the financials. You can see the stock does have a little bit of cash, but it does burn cash every quarter. So it looks like it's got about 2, maybe 3 quarters worth of runway here. This is ticker OTRK. 13, I don't know if you had time to prepare this morning. So if you want to say anything on any of these names, you're welcome.
Didn't have time to prepare, but I can take a look real quick and see some things that stand out. One thing is that this may be another one of those compliance plays where they do the reverse split in order to regain compliance. They just did that on the 23rd of September. So now the float is down to 1.25 million shares. That's why we're seeing the figures for the percent of the float short and the cover, have such the difference there. But I think this is going to be one of those names that could end up moving like the other ones we've seen in the past that have gone through the reverse split, regained compliance. Just be careful of them needing to raise cash. I think that is going to be coming. Just not sure if we'll see that today or not.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. And that's kind of why they had a couple of quarters, so you might not see it right after. We'll see, though. I think a lot depends on where the price actually finishes there. Okay. All right, it's actually a combination there. Crimp Biscuit saying it's a Form 4. It is a Form 4. It's also a Form 13D as well. So there's 2 after-hours forms. That's what's driving the price here. I guess I should have just led with that. That's much simpler. Don't use 15 words when 5 will do. Okay. Next here will be BPTH. This is Biopath Holdings. This also had a catalyst here. You can see the impulse move made consecutive highs, 3 consecutive highs, a little bit of a regression back to the mean, but we're hanging out right here at VWAP. We're really not breaking down. The sell-offs have been met with buys. Really nothing terrible yet here in the pre-market. I will note that the volume here is kind of compressing. That could very easily change when the market opens. If we want to go over to the news here, Biopath has initiated a therapeutic program to develop one of its drugs for obesity and related metabolic diseases. This program marks the first application of DNA BLIs. Clever play on words there. Technology for development of a non-cancer application. So that's the press release that you're getting here. Stock popped 50%. We'll do the same thing we normally do here. Negligible short interest, pretty much nothing going on there. Financials here. Again, this company, does burn cash every quarter, and it only has about $4 million on the balance sheet. So it's got 1, maybe 2 quarters before this needs to figure out what it's going to do with its cash position. The float structure here, 2.55 million. It does have 1 analyst rating, actually. I didn't even realize that earlier. Looks like that is actually, it has 2 here. It looks like, oh man, $40 and a $20 price target, both from Roth. Actually, there have been 3 this year, all of them from Roth. MKM price target here, $40. So BPTH, that's what's going on here this morning. 13, I don't know. Did you have anything on this one?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting about the initiation of a therapeutic program for this particular drug, because just a couple months ago in August, we received information about this drug with their phase 1, phase 1B clinical trial. So I guess I just have to look into this some more about why they're suddenly initiating a program here when they haven't even gone through all of their different clinical trials. There must be something else that I just need to research some more. But in any event, that's this BP 1001-A drug. That's the one that they have ongoing in clinical trials. So it is in development right now. I don't see anything else that you didn't already mention. Float 2.5 million, so easy to move around. They did a reverse split earlier this year, back in February. I don't think that has any material impact today. So other than that, it almost seems like they're just kind of bringing up their, hey, we have this drug. It's, we're going to do this with it now. And I don't really know that there's a whole lot of push here. But if it's going to move, it will trade it. And that's about all there is to it. I don't think this is really that material.
Okay. Good stuff there. Now, next on the list here, I'm going to be very brief with this because this actually affects other stocks. We got about 6 minutes left here. Yang is on the gap list here today because, and this is the levered bear ETF. Now, a lot of these China names are pulling back. Of course, they just had stimulus. They moved up like crazy. Interestingly enough, 13 and I had been telling you that parts of China were closed. I think it was Hong Kong that was open, Shenzhen that was closed, or something like that. Can't remember exactly without looking at the information that we had. But we had mentioned that. Now, Smoke Tuna earlier, if Smoke Tuna is here, I don't even know, said that we called that this pump would end on October 7th. Now, I don't know if we actually called that, but if we did, that is a pretty sweet call because we were about as timely as it gets. I do remember us talking about when the holiday actually ends and when people were going to return. Now we're seeing kind of a pullback in some of these names. I'm showing you Yang here, but the story exists for any of these China names that you pull up, whether it's PDD, this actually spiking a little bit into the open here, Baba, Baidu would be on that, and then some of the smaller names are likely also on that. So that's kind of what's going on here with the Chinese names. I just wanted to give an overview. 13, I guess we called this, so giddy up.
Yeah, I picked some up. I mean, I even told you yesterday I had some of this, and it just felt like the when you're looking at Yang,
too far, too fast.
Yeah, too far, too fast. Chinese market got extended, so I mean, maybe it's probably not even done with how much of a turnaround the market's getting. But I think with the too far, too fast, this is just like a short, at the very least, it's a short term, bounce back up to or to the back to the downside for some of these Chinese stocks. Just too far up, too fast, like you said.
Eric Rock, just to be clear here, you guys are long Yang. 13, my partner here, is long Yang. I am not long. I have no China exposure in either direction. My partner here is long that. Okay, I'm going to keep moving here. IBG, Innovation Beverage Group. Now, I almost fell out of my chair when I saw when I saw the news here this morning. This stock popped up to 3. Oh, they're doing work on my roof that I can hear. Sorry if the microphone's picking that up. Anyway, this stock popped up to 3. It's really kind of come back in. What is the news driving this? Innovation Beverage Group says Australian bitters is now available nationwide, in the U.S. through Cisco. I've bartended in a limited capacity. I've bartended for myself and my friends. I have never one time used a bitters that is not Angostura bitters, so I don't understand what all of the hubbub is, and I'm skeptical that this is going to make any dent in the actual market itself. But I'm not a bitters connoisseur, so if you know more about that, or you have a selection of bitters at home or something like that, I'd love to hear your input on that. But this is what's going on with this company. It looks like Holdings. Also look like they welcomed the former CEO as the CSO. So that is also part of this news. Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
They just IPO'd too.
Just IPO'd. So stock's up 23% here. That's what's going on with this one. Yeah, this is what the IPO'd Thursday, September 26th. So that's what's going on here. There you go on IBG. You got anything on this one?
Just the recent IPO, 5.3 million shares in the float. Don't really have any real metrics on their financials as of yet, since they're such a new company. I don't have a whole lot. Just this is a new issue, and I'm probably not going to really touch this one. I just don't know enough about it.
SLNO, this is the other one that's gapping here really quick. Solano Therapeutic announces FDA review division determined that there does not appear to be a need for an advisory committee meeting at this time for the NDA for DCCR extended release tablets for the treatment of Prader-Willi syndrome. I'm actually not familiar with what that syndrome is. I assume it's a rare disease here. But in any case, that's what's going on with SLNO. They don't need this additional meeting. Stocks popping here plus 19%. This is not one that I really follow, although I think we've talked about this one on the show here before. So that's basically what's going on in the movers. Say again, rare genetic disorder. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look at this. Look, there was some directors selling ahead of this news before it popped. That is a shame. That is a shame. Okay. So that's what's going on here. I'm going to go back over. We got less than a minute till we open up here. I'm going to move over to my main workspace and kind of get ready for today. 10 seconds. Boy, we did a really good job. Smoke Tuna here. where was this? Nothing promising this morning. Don't be in a rush. Wait for quality. That's what we're going to do here. All right, we're open. Let's go.
Looking at OTRK, seeing if that can get above VWAP here. And we also have BPTH also trying to do the same. BPTH may get rejected here. And if it does, I'll be looking for it to slow down or get support around 111.
Okay. OTRK. Let me actually flip around through some of these here for you folks. OTRK still doing a really good job holding that 3 level here. I do like to see that.
Let's see here.
Bitters is the new Celsius. I can't imagine people drinking bitters as an energy drink. Oh my. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, kids will drink anything these days.
I mean, but bitters? It's like that.
Sure.
That is crazy. Okay, OTRK here. Watch if it takes this out. I've got VWAP here at 315. I got to say, my gut tells me it wants to make a run at that. We'll see here. Might try a little bit of this.
Yeah, it's got a wall there at 314. It's got to get through. See what it can do.
Okay, moving higher here on OTRK. Now let's see what happens here at the VWAP. This is going to tell. This should tell us. I know I've got my VWAP here 318. The prop firm it's 315. So we're right in the same area there. We'll see what happens. I also do see what 13 was talking about. They are refilling the 314 spot with stock there. So clearly there's a seller and they just deleted it again. 317, your next spot. We'll see.
Are we going to really say that if they refill it with stock that they're restocking?
We could. Yeah, we could do that. That would make a lot of sense. Crimp Biscuit here with some truth for you. Bitters is better than soap pods. Yes. Yeah. I'm glad we're no longer dealing with people posting videos on the Tide Pod challenge. We don't need people going to the hospital to have their stomach pumped.
I could probably see them flying off the shelves if they branded them as Tide Pod bitters.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, guys.
Nobody watches this show that's going to make that move.
Qs are up here. I do see there is no try saying tech stocks are up. I guess take a look at some of the individual names on that. Here is NVIDIA. This is trying to go for a new high here.
BPTH and OTRK both looking good right now. Actually, BPTH just pulled a little bit there, but OTRK, that one's doing pretty well so far.
They restocked 319 right there, and they're deleting that restock, and higher we go. Bang, bang, bang. OTRK. Going to lighten a little right here. Book some gains. See if we pop this 325 spot. I got a little bit more size there at 332 if this keeps up, and the other spot that I have here is 354. That's going to be your pre-market high.
Motion mentioning serve. Good call. That thing's doing more moves up to 1059 this morning.
Okay, really good stuff there.
Looks like we're also getting some movement out of LASEs. Some of these moves.
Bang, bang. Just took OTRK off right there at 333 in honor of Pat Foley and puck drop on the NHL season here.
Yeah, looks like.
All right, so I'm all out 1 for 1. Sorry, 13.
Great job. Looks like this is going to end up at some point. Not sure if we're going to get it this candle, but it's going to try and test 350 here. That's OTRK. Looks like every time that we get up there to test and break over that level, it gets rejected. At least that's been the case so far this morning, with the only exception out with the opening pre-market rally up to 369.
Jay Rice mentioning nice move here on Palo Alto Networks Pan W on this upgrade. I got a couple of things here about Palo Alto. One of them is kind of a lull. So Jay mentioned in the upgrade there, I saw a commercial the other day for Palo Alto Networks, the first one I've ever seen on television. And you know who their spokesperson is? Keanu Reeves, the one and only Keanu Reeves. And now I like this stock even more than I did before. So no position here, but I do want to look to trade this again. I would be very curious to see what this does around 375. Kind of a janky double top, but a double top nonetheless. Good stuff there, Jay, on Pan W. You reminded me.
Yeah, give their PR team a raise for getting him.
I'm going to check AAOI here really quickly so Shaka doesn't lose his damn mind. This is actually trading up towards yesterday's intraday high. If it breaks that, next spot I have here, just a couple of cents higher here, 1575. We'll see if it takes this out. We take a look at the 15-minute chart. You can see we've kind of butted up against this area here. So if this entire area falls, next spot up here about $17.
Smoke Tuna mentioned ACCD. They just had earnings this morning.
Okay. That's Accolade.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of wild here. Looks like it traded up, then pulled, and now it's trying to go higher here. Above VWAP, looking pretty good. What does the volume look like? Okay, we're already over the average. Not bad here.
Yeah, and the float is 77.7 million, so it is on the heavier side, but this is still some really good, like you said, some really good bond that we're seeing out of this stock. Definitely over the average.
I want to check in on Ambo. I guess we could call this Rambo because this thing went bananas yesterday.
That was awesome.
So I actually was tied up in the afternoon and didn't trade any of this. Grats to you, 13. And then I know the big move here was in the after hours when they turned off all the rules and such. Interestingly enough, it really hasn't broken down. I'd be curious to see if this punches through the VWAP. I do think that this could get wild. We'll see, though. The other thing I wanted to check here real quick is Roblox. Looks like we are bouncing here on Roblox.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at the end of the day move on AMBO. I traded it earlier in the day, but I saw that and I was like, wow, that thing is amazing. So got to just put it out there. I didn't manage to capture that movement in the afternoon, and I just thought it was amazing, though.
It is amazing. Looking around here.
Bitcoin having a good morning so far.
Indeed, Bitcoin futures here at 63,000. They do look like they're trying to go higher, but they haven't been able to yet. So we'll see there.
It looks like BPTH is also trying to go higher as well. They have a lot of sellers in the way here, but volume starts to come in, it could chew right through all that. And it looks like we're getting a little bit of that right now. Also,
OTRK pushed up to 345 where it's got a spot. Now, I'm all out of this one, but it looks like it's trying to go higher here. Frankly, a pullback to the VWAP would be crispy on OTRK. We'll see if we get it. In the meantime, let's see if BPTH goes towards those pre-market highs at 152.
We've been getting a mention for CAPR by Shaka a lot. And look at this thing. This thing is just tearing out of the open here.
This thing has been tearing.
Yep, no red candles yet here.
Yeah, it looks like it got all of its red candles out in the afternoon yesterday. Traded pretty much back down to where it gapped open from the day prior. Now it looks like we're trading back up. This looks to me like a back test. Hood also getting mentioned here. Hood ripping out of the gate here. There is no try. Are you on this one? Did we have news on Hood? This feels like Piper Sandler sticks to its buy rating here. Also looks like last night we got an officer selling some. Got another raised price target. Interesting. So you got C-suite executives selling into some of these upgrades.
Yeah, BPTH really trying to take out this 140 wall here. Here we go. It's trying.
We feel good about buying that upside break. I don't know.
Smoked in. Oh, they just restocked it. That's gonna be fun to say. Looks like Smoke Tuna mentioning TIGR.
Okay. I don't, yeah, not on the, oh yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Here we go. Okay. Now this is a China name.
Yes,
this is China related. Yeah, right. That's why we got, okay. So interesting. So this one bouncing here.
Lunar also having a good morning as well. Going from 733 up to 755. It's got a resistance area around 752. We can get above that, then we might end up seeing it go at the 9 handle.
Okay, that is awesome. Jay Wild, good morning to you. Hopefully you are doing well, my man.
Smoke Tuna mentioning ACCD at support. It's looking like it's kind of weakening there, but still in that range, still in that demand zone. It's not done yet. It could probably go as low as 385 before it finds a bottom there, but I'd like to see it turn around here.
ACCD looks like a straight up Mutombo rejection there at 450. Really slapped down.
CAPR still strong.
Also, I wanted to shout out here. We talked about this one recently. This is ticker WETH. We touch this really not breaking down. We had this huge spike here yesterday and a regressive move, but we're not breaking down. Watch for this one maybe to go higher. This has cash.
Yeah, this one should. I mean, the way we've been talking about this one,
Yep.
we're looking for into the higher single digits. So waiting to see if we end up getting that.
OTRK, let's have that come back in. Jane Smith saying toss acting wonky for anyone else. Chart sort of stuck on desktop. I have a bunch of charts going. None of them look stuck.
Smoke Tuna mentioning Ford, not F, but FORD.
Okay. I'll bring that up here real quick. Is that on the list here? No. Jane, I don't notice anything on my hand. Try the collect garbage. That collect garbage again, for all you toss users, you should be familiar with this. On the main tab, if you click on the help tab and then the system sub tab, you'll have a button for collect garbage, and you should actually get some better performance out of your platform from doing that.
OTRK is still holding above VWAP, and I think it's trying to push up to go higher right now. Nope, there it goes. It's pushing higher.
I did that. I'm too slow here, 13.
It's trying to get over 340 at the moment here. Needs more volume to get a break out of these pre-market highs, though. Need more volume than this.
I see you guys talking a lot about VKTX. I'll bring that up here. This one I'm actually interested in. I want this closer to the 200, which I have at $55. This is 65 moving here. Do we have any news on this? What are you guys mentioning here?
Be careful with BPTH. I don't like these upper shadows that it's been putting in all morning. That could be an indication that we're going to lose VWAP. Just be careful with BPTH. CAPR 1945 is the current intraday high, pulling back now, still above VWAP.
For those of you looking at VKTX, what do you make of the news that the compounders can't make these formulas anymore? Do you think that hurts VKTX? Helps it? No change? I'd be curious.
I mean, I think JP Morgan has a lot of people on this one right now with that announcement of the obesity week, their catalyst watch. So maybe it could be squeezing as well. There's the high short interest, 19.32% of the float shorted, 5.13 days of cover. Could be a couple of things happening here, but I think with the number of eyes that JP Morgan put on the stock, we're going to probably end up seeing a lot of this up until that obesity week in November.
Really quickly here, just an observation. A ton of these names on my relative volume scanner that are in the negative are Chinese. I think they might all be. Tiger, DBGI is this one. Futu, Digital Brands. I don't know if Digital Brands is here. No, this one isn't, but the rest of them are. Lots of that stuff. If that bounces, those could be plays in there. Is that official on compounders? I believe that it is. We heard that yesterday. We talked about it a little bit in happy hour. BKTX continuing to move higher here. Palantir continuing to move high. You just absolutely love to see it. Palantir 40 prints likely coming again here. Bring up the Palantir chart while we're waiting. BPTH looks like it is bouncing here a little bit. Here's your Palantir. Let's go. Here's BPTH.
You're on a 1 minute? Yeah.
Yeah. I can go to whatever you want, and I can also add your EMAs if we want to show a possible level or something.
If you look at the 5 minute, you can see the wicks I was referring to that have me concerned. Now it is still above VWAP, so that's a good sign. 152 is the after hours? Is the after hours high, so that's going to be, and pre-market apparently, so that's going to be the level that it's going to try to shoot for here. Don't know if we're going to get a scallop where we completely just break through that and go higher, or if we're going to reject and put a second top in. So that's just what I'm waiting to see what we get here with BPTH. Just don't like those wicks on the 5 minute. All right. Yeah, Jay Rice, you're absolutely right with that. All the
uranium names, yeah.
Yep. Too far, too fast.
And so let's talk about that real quick, because those have been pretty good. Do we really think that that entire thing is changing? I tend to think no. And I'm almost thinking that if we get some of these pullbacks here, that would be really good for maybe adding. So let me take a look here real quick. I'm going to start with CCJ and LEU. No, those seem to be the most popular. Sorry?
Lunar's running.
Okay. I'll get to Lunar here in a second. Same thing here. I'd like to see a pullback to the 200. We'll see if we end up getting it. You're right on this. Too far, too fast, though. LEU probably looks similar. Oh my God, way more extended from these moving averages. I don't even know if this is going to get back down here.
I saw somebody even mentioning GNRC.
Yeah, Generac.
And as if this is still a viable hurricane play. I think it is, but if you look at the RSI, I mean, not right now, but before we opened, it was over 70. This thing is also too far, too fast, I think. It does need to come back in, but I think this is still going to end up going higher, over the course of maybe, a couple more weeks. Just as soon as we get some of that fallout from Milton. I don't think basically what I'm saying with GNRC, I don't think it's done, but it does need to pull back. It's way extended.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Not done, but needs a break. The other names that I'm really looking at, the charts look almost identical. Going to be ticker HD and ticker LOW. That's Home Depot and Lowe's. This, interestingly, we just talked to Matt Malley about this. This nice pullback to the 0.236 fib level here. That is right at 399. I guess maybe you can call that 400 here. This actually looks like this is going to go for some new highs. Let's ensure that Lowe's looks the same. Very, very similar chart here on some of these other hurricane plays.
OTRK, that is looking like it's going to try and test the pre-market highs here. On the other hand, you have BPTH, who is now trading beneath their VWAP. This one looks like it's going the opposite direction. Those wicks, they didn't lie. So let's see if we end up getting this resolution here. Now, it is going to come down into a demand zone. So with BPTH, let's see if it can get some support around 120.
Okay. Here we go on OTRK. I guess I did sell a little early there, about 15 cents early, but that's okay. I might get another opportunity here. See, a number of people mentioning Sava.
Oh, wow. Look at that. And there goes OTRK.
Let me go back to it. Sorry, 13.
Oh, breaking the pre-market highs.
There it is. Should have scaled. So we've been talking about doing that. I really got to focus on that. So if we talk about it, I got to actually execute.
Well, that's hard when you're running a show, man.
Well, no, I mean, it's still though. I just buy a little bit more, put the orders out there. There are ways to get around it. I don't necessarily want to use the show as an excuse.
Great mention, Tony, on LASE. There was a big pop right through the 200 EMA, multiple levels I had here from yesterday. And now we are halted. Next upside target in this one is be 530.
I see Humana puts getting bought here.
Lunar also had
AOI continuing to move higher here. So if you have this, awesome. But I actually, for a trade, would love this to come back in, maybe 1575.
Lunar now breaking down, but coming into the VWAP. So still above VWAP, but after hitting 779, it is now coming back in. A nice move in Lunar. Looks like CAPR. That is trying to find a bottom here. I'm not sure if this is where it's going to turn around and go higher, but this is something to watch for. Its volume's really low, but it just dropped and then regained VWAP. So might want to wait and see what CAPR does. OTRK,
big push to 4. Huge volume stick here. That is exactly what we want on these trades. You know what? We're going to make the rounds here. Congrats to anyone trading OTRK today. That should be a good way to start off some greens, or start off with some green. Actually, you probably should start your day with greens. Now that I think about it, that's not even really a big misstep.
What greens did you eat for breakfast? I'm curious.
I didn't have any here today. I didn't have any here today. The only thing I had for breakfast today was coffee.
It's Breakfast Champions.
BPTH. You're damn right it is.
BPTH trying to find some support here. This was a oh man, this was great. This is we were getting all the indicators that this was going to go down. It did. I don't know how far down it goes, but if we lose this demand zone, the next support level that I have here is going to be the 65 EMA, which is at 113. Call it 113, 114.
Smoke Tuna calling BPTH no touch here. It is at the 120 support there, but be careful. Mitch mentioning AG1 green juice. So I've actually had this. This stuff is great. I will say it's, I definitely believe that it's overpriced. And the fact that you have to get it on a subscription kind of sucks, because if I don't take it a couple of days, then I have extra. I can't pause the thing. The whole subscription model thing really turns me off from AG1. The product is really, really good. I actually tried a similar one, a competitor. I can't remember the name of it. It's green, and I bought the red as well. They're also really good. More of a winter thing for me.
Great mentions for green breakfast, folks, but I like the James one here. Ryan, try green tea.
Yeah,
that is a little miracle tea there, by the way.
I have been, so you guys remember, I've really kind of been battling what sounds like a cold or allergies. I have been pounding tea and emergency. I absolutely love, huge tea drinker. I've got tea right here. I actually have Mulian tea, which helps clear out your lungs. Anyway.
And take a look at Mitch Davis's profile picture. I think that's basically, you want to look good like that, drink your greens.
Boom. Well done. Okay.
OTRK, man, this thing is still not done. It looks like, don't know where this is going to end up. Maybe look for some levels here. And I'll see if we can figure out where this thing is going to run to. Gosh, dare I say this goes to 815. Let's see what it might run into.
Christoph says for morning greens, you should just do wake and bake. Okay.
Not before this show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way I would ever mix that. I would be a complete disaster. OTRK, by the way, has continued to roll here. I'm going to grade myself a C+ on my opening trade here, because definitely really need to focus more on scaling.
Yeah, but you still pass with the C. So
Saha says, thanks for the $1,000 day, guys. You're welcome. No problem at all.
Awesome.
Congrats. In fact, register ring for you, Sassy. Let's go. Let's go.
All we want from you is a like, and see you tomorrow. Man, well done on your $1,000 day.
Zyrtec. I actually think I have some Zyrtec in my cabinet, Jane. Maybe I will try that. Vocal Zone lozenges. You know, I do like a good lozenge, so maybe I will look at that. Alex playing Roblox, managed to get short Roblox 39. I hate to feel it. Yeah, no kidding. And yeah. Okay, so just for anyone that didn't read the report, just so Alex's comment has some context here, there are really kind of some scary reports uncovered by these short reports regarding this topic here. So with you on that, Alex, good luck on your trade. But just to kind of add some context there, let's actually bring Roblox up and see where it's at.
CAPR, by the way, that just took the next leg up.
Roblox here struggling to hold on to its VWAP. I actually think if this breaks, this could, 37, this might be able to challenge those pre-market lows if this snaps here. Comp, just so you're aware, Comp, it took everything in my being to not yell Ricola like a yodeler. And so I'm glad that somebody did it in the chat, because I didn't want to cause our viewership count to get cut in half by me yelling Ricola over and over again, because I'm all jacked on coffee.
Don't worry, Shaka, I see you. Yeah, CAPR. This thing looks like it's about to tip, like touch 20, just just barely. Maybe go as high as 2015 before we get some pullback here. Just looking at the price action from yesterday. That's where we were getting support. In the morning, so that's where I would expect there to be some resistance. Should we continue to get up into the 20 handle?
This volume here, this looking pretty good here. This was nice little dip back to VWAP. Damn.
Yeah, it's taken off like the Caper Crusader, isn't it?
The Caper Crusader. I see what you did there.
And OTRK, yeah. I just saw you bring that up. 450 on this one.
I need OTRK to really kind of pull back and then hold here. We're going to need another opportunity here.
Okay. So for OTRK.
Oh, hey, really quickly here. We're going to celebrate this. Calling it quits already. Today is my most profitable day ever. Bang. Boom. Kapow. Like the old Batman. Then again, it's only been 2 months. Bro, when you get things to celebrate them. And discipline to keep your money in your pocket, really smart. 13's on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you just had a great day. No need to change that. Go have a nice rest of your day away from the computer. Awesome job. Love that stuff. So it was OTRK.
Sorry.
with OTRK, if you want some levels here, we got four. It looks like somewhere between 485 and 490 could be the next resistance area. After that, I have 595 and then 775. Those are the next upside levels here.
Those must come off the daily then, huh?
Yep. I'm looking at the daily chart. Yeah, and these are kind of back over in May and earlier, May and April.
Yep, indeed. I'm seeing a ton of it looks like a ton of traders here. We're on OTRK. You look, awesome. So here's what I will say. It's not always this easy. And in fact, you see me struggle with this a lot, where sometimes I'm trying to focus on one stock. There's three maybe that we're kind of prepared for. I get one and it's another one here that goes. Remember, at the beginning here, Smoke Tuna had mentioned there wasn't a whole lot that looked great today. OTRK probably the best looking setup there. I'm not surprised to see most of you folks actually trading the best. We got a really nice cross above VWAP here on volume. The volume came back in while the stock traded sideways, then expanded. This is exactly the stuff that we're looking for. I'm very unsurprised to see you guys absolutely smoking the stock right here. Really, really good stuff. Really good stuff there.
I think this thing's good. More BPTH. This is trying to turn around here, but be cautious. This one, this could end up being just a bear flag that we're seeing here. At the very least, if it can manage to get back up through 125, I don't know that it's going to get back above the VWAP, but at the very least, I think it could try to retest the VWAP here. So that's what I'm watching for with BPTH. I think this is the one that we were kind of cautioned to stay away from.
It was.
Okay, so if you're not going to listen, at least be careful.
If you're not going to listen, at least be careful. 13, I absolutely love it.
Okay, so there's one.
Absolutely love it. Sorry.
There's one target taken out for OTRK. We were talking somewhere between 485 and 490. We got 498 pushing to 5. There we are, and through 5 now. Next stop, looking for 595. So let's see what we get. My
goodness, great stuff here. If you guys are trying to practice scaling out, maybe just kick out 100 shares at a time. Real quick, Chicago Realtors asking, anyone see news on Chewy? I don't have any fresh news on Chewy here.
Is there
I was looking. I mean, it's trading up here today. Here, 13. Let's take a look at the daily. We'll get the full context picture here. This is actually a stock I really like, so I like kind of staying on top of it. Here you go. So we are trading up here today about 2.5%. It does look like we kind of came off the 50-day moving average. I would say that this is probably just a technical trade.
That's what I would get, especially.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. I don't see any news though, so.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It's more technical. My God, look at OTRK, 550 now, and I think that's not a bad idea there, Comp, selling into that 550, because look at now we're starting to pull here. It could continue to push like it's doing. Remember, 595. That's the upside target I have there. Could make it.
Grouch of Wall Street, what is the catalyst on OTRK? Sorry, just joined the chat, been searching around and not sure. Well, the reason that you're not sure is because you don't have Benzinga Pro, which does an amazing job of aggregating the news here for you. I will help you out, though, because I like you a lot, and I like your avatar quite a bit here. We actually had 2 SEC filings drop in the after hours yesterday. You had a Form 13D here with an active stake, and you also had a Form 4 here where you had, I believe this was a director. Let me see here real quick. It was an addition here. Looks like 1 million shares. Didn't it say right up here? 10% owner. Excuse me, 10% owner. I beg your pardon. So Form 4, Form 13D. That is what's driving it here. This does seem overcooked for me. What do I know? Stock's up 187% here today. Here's the poll. This is exactly what we wanted. Hopefully you folks all have gains booked.
Yeah, and this also has a high short interest, high days to cover, and this is also part of the that ongoing theme of recompliance. Some of these smaller, junkier names reverse splitting in order to regain compliance with their listing with NASDAQ. So that's also what's happening here. They just did a reverse split on September 23rd, and now their float is 1.25 million.
Okay, good stuff here. Just kind of checking in on some other things, folks. The Nike short is working. Give me the 80 snap. Give me the 80 snap. Remember, target here anywhere between 75, 77. We will cover the short up here. It's not a big short. This is not one that I would scale out of. I did raise my stop. And frankly, if a breakthrough 80 here, if we continue to move to the downside, I will raise my stop again. Be sure that I book gains here on this one. So feel pretty good about this short on Nike. Let's see if we can get an 80 flush. Sava, which was mentioned earlier, really impressive volume, took out those pre-market highs, bounced off VWAP. This continuing to go, although I do want to see a pullback here for a new trade. Lassie looks like this is halted or resumed, excuse me. So this halted on the way up and resumed. See if it moves through that VWAP there.
One thing that's going on with Lunar, I haven't looked at the news, so I'm not sure if there's any other catalysts, but on the technical side, this is today's candle is trying to break through a downtrend here, and you can draw that line starting from September 20th, draw it through the September 27th, and keep it going, and you'll see how we are seeing having the price move over that trend line right now. There you go.
There it is. When you said keep it going, I might have drawn that a little too much. In fact, that's given my OCD fits, so we'll adjust it there.
And it looks like CAPR looking for 20 still.
JBDI, you guys are throwing out a ton of tickers. What looked like maybe not a whole lot of action is proving to be some action here. JBDI continuing to trade higher here. Good stuff, Wiss.
Sideshow with main show gains. That's awesome, dude.
Sideshow with main show games.
Gains.
Oh,
Gains,
gotcha.
G-A-I.
Gotcha. Throw a Z on there just for the boys.
Zim having a good morning too.
Hey, did someone
that's
ask
got
for
some...
Z? Sorry.
No, but now that you're here, let's give him a good dose of it. Let's dose him up, Z. What are we waiting for?
I was in the back talking to Charla, trying to figure out direction webinar stuff, and I heard my name, and I was like, huh.
That's amazing. Okay, well, that's amazing. Charla must also be a comedian in her spare time, because I saw you on the phone and all you were doing was laughing. And the jokes must be as crispy as it gets. So shout out to Charla for being able to tell the funny jokes. Let's go.
It was cool. So for the chat who doesn't know, Charla does pretty much everything for us on the video side in terms of making sure we are on our toes. If I miss one thing, she'll let me know. But no, she's in the back producing, so she's like pressing buttons to go from like a one-person view to like a zoom out view. So I was just laughing at her playing with buttons. But anyway, happy trading. By the way, did anyone trade Roblox today? Roblox?
You know what? That's a good question, Zunaid. I'm going to amplify Zunaid's question. Did anyone actually trade it? Because Zunaid, we hooked one with OTRK, and it looks like the entire chat traded it for gains here today. So really good stuff there. I will bring up Roblox. What do you got on this, Zunaid?
I think Dennis, or excuse me, Joel had mentioned like the $35 level. I'll be honest, I've been kind of in the back with all the chaos that's happening today. Man, we've got such a great team. Just want to say you've got AT and Malia out in Chicago for CCC. You've got Charla, Enver, everybody helping out with All Access. Oh, and then we got the webinar too, by the way. Should be fun. Oh, hey,
yeah, I do want to pick a bone. I do want to pick a bone with the weather, because anytime AT comes to Chicago, I try and get some golf in, and the weather is just too cold. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. So we got that going. But you were right about our team being amazing.
Oh, amen to that. By the way, take a look at Robinhood, as that's kind of reaching the $25 level. I don't know if Elon's in the chat. Oh, there he is. Yep, see him. Robinhood finally reached our target of 25. Fun stuff happening. They tweeted, I think, the other day to say, keep an eye on, I think it was October 11th for an announcement. So whatever that is, should be fun.
And I beg your pardon, Alex from our chat, I know, is trading Roblox to the short side. Now, really quickly, I'm going to move away from this, but Roblox here, this bounce off the VWAP, I'm telling you right now, if this can't clear 39.40, which is the previous high, I think this rolls back over. So possible short ad spot there. Careful. I'm not in this, so take that with a grain of salt, but a lot of other stuff going here too.
Yeah, should be fun. Elon,
Hood was what you wanted me to put up. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So that's approaching 25. So it's broken the previous resistance that we saw. I think it was or it's at least, yeah, we had reached 25 back in July. So July 17th. Now in October, we're right back at it as well. That was after it dropped to the $14 level, and now it's come all the way back up, $10. And again, they have whatever announcement they've got going on the 11th is what they tweeted about. That should be fun.
Really quickly, some feedback here.
Email me so I can directly forward your concern, right? Zunaid@benzinga.com. Anyone that has any concerns regarding the trading competition, please email me. I will get you taken care of. And if you haven't already signed up for the trading competition, we had an interview with Andrea earlier today. She's killing it. She's on pace to win at least $5,000. And we've got $10,000 being given away at least to the first place winner next month, and then $15,000 additional for the third month. So lots of fun stuff. I'm gonna go in the back. Bye.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that Slack notification is loud as hell. So in the back, it's all good. It's all. He's a busy man. He's a busy man. What can we say? He's got a lot of stuff there.
Slack notifications like.
I mean, it is so loud. Like maybe it's just because I have headphones on, but it literally sounded like someone was shaking a maraca in my ear. It was wild.
CAPR popped over 20 and it's coming back in. Careful with this one now. This looks like it's thinking about going the opposite direction. But that was
MCRB, this is our lotto play here. I will say I'm not going to let this completely sell off. I'm not sure we end up getting this, but I may have to scatter here in a little bit. What was the ticker you wanted me to pull up?
Oh, that was CAPR.
CAPR, Capper.
Yep, the Caper Crusader.
The Caper Crusader, my bad.
And yeah, so 2009, that's what we ended up popping up to. Now the candle that it ended up making is a little bit more neutral. That could be an indication that it's trying to reverse or that it's going to keep going. We're just going to have to find out what this candle right now gives us, but just be careful here with CAPR.
Really quickly here, Mark is saying, oh my God, turn that down. I thought my boss messaged me. What I will say here is Zunaid's got a side gig where he has these other sounds. He has an alert sound on his TradingView broker that literally sounds like a fire alarm. And so I'm very unsurprised to hear Slack messages confusing everybody. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, I can't wait for somebody to actually use the fire alarm replacement battery chirp as their notification. That would drive all kinds of people.
I would commit myself if I ended up doing that, honestly. Manish is asking, Wheeler, what's going on with it? Well, trading down here 10%. Let's see if there's any news on this for you. Looks like we did have a couple of forms here. Form 8, Form 424B.
I don't think this is running on anything fundamental. It's all been technical. Daily chart kind of telling me that the movement we're getting is that we're possibly losing the 50-day SMA. You can see that the 50-day SMA has been a pretty important moving average for the stock going back to September. Every time it pops up there, it kind of hangs out and then loses it, regains it, loses it, regains it. And it looks like we're just in the process of losing it again and maybe even heading lower, probably down into the sub 5 area. But it could end up turning around and going back up. I just think this is just, more of the technical moves that it's been making since September. I don't think there's anything fundamental going on here.
Yeah, so there you go. The only thing I saw there were those two SEC forms, and those weren't the ones that we normally follow here. Lassie also getting mentioned. Is this trading up? It is. Let's see if it takes out the VWAP there.
OTRK. Here comes the next move, I think. Trying to recapture that 490 area that we were talking about. Chinese stocks honeymoon is over. At the very least, it's getting some pullback. If it's over, that's great too. I mean, it's been very, very extended. We probably should see more than just one day of unwinding after this move that these names have had.
OTRK here for a trade. I'd like to add this a little bit lower and have that stop be that low here, but let's see if it moves through 5 OTRK. There are some bids kind of supporting this right now, OTRK.
Yeah, just remember, let's when the volume starts to kind of leave these names as we're seeing, then you might not want to change your plan that you have for this.
Yeah, or if you think that the volume's going to return, because we do see that with a lot of these names, you might want to slowly scale in so that if you do take a pull, you're not completely out there.
RCAT getting mentioned by Shaka. Nothing but green candles in RCAT today. Kind of makes me want to take a look at AV and see how that's going.
We did have a break on Nike below 80, but it looks like it got bought right back above that. OTRK coming in here. This does feel like it's slowing down 13.
Yeah. Don't give it back by thinking that it's just going to start taking off. Let's hold on to those gains. Maybe look for something else. But of course, keep it on your radar.
BPTH, by the way, master for call for you guys earlier saying, hey, be careful with this one. Looks weak. Even on that curl, it actually went lower here. Really, really good call. Chris, good morning, Chris. Good to see you again. I think Disney is going to take back yesterday's red candle on the daily before the close today. Chris, what do you think about Disney and this impending hurricane? Don't you think that there is a risk that the park either sustains damage or something that would maybe drive the stock price down? How are you factoring in, or do you look at that as a buying opportunity? I suppose you could do. Let me know how you factor in the Milton with Disney. From what I understand, this is supposed to hit Tampa head on, move across the state, and exit through Orlando.
Yep. So that's exactly it. And I looked at the timeline. It looks like it's going to make landfall on Wednesday evening, not morning, like we were talking about yesterday.
Hurricane helps business. The hotels are full.
Going to help hotels because there's been massive evacuations. Going to probably end up helping home improvement locations. Going to help materials. Going to help. I don't know if there's any publicly traded, Serve Pro. You heard of that company?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Serve Pro.
I don't know if
that get it done or whatever.
Yeah, they take care of clean up from floods and in businesses and whatnot. I'm just wondering if there's a company out there that's public that does something similar. I don't know of one though. As far as Disney goes, I was talking about how this was looking good, and one of the things I wanted to see it do was hold between 95 and 97.50. It has not done that. It actually has broken beneath that, tried to get back in above 95. Yesterday, it was rejected, like he was saying, and this is going down. I don't necessarily believe that this is going to come back up. The pattern that I'm seeing right now is that it's giving a bit of a head and shoulders. So I think we're going to get a test of the 50-day SMA, maybe even go lower as a result of not just the hurricane, but this technical formation here. Really needed to hold above 95. And since it didn't do that, that's kind of broken, the trade plan I had for this. So don't have any right now.
Non-stock related breaking news here. Jets coach Robert Saleh fired this morning, just now. So we can't really trade off that, but that's interesting. I know we got Jet fans in here. OTRK did reclaim 5. This is what, man, I'll tell you what, this was not an easy setup here. We were looking for this to maybe retake 5 here. It kind of showing some weakness, and then here it punched through it. We'll see if this comes back in. OTRK flirting with the 5 level.
Yep.
Hindenburg with a second update on Roblox. We got to check out Roblox now. Good morning. Stay focused.
Get more price.
This actually went higher. So interesting. That area that we said that might cause resistance, we actually took that out and went higher.
Just waiting to see what's going to happen with OTRK.
Roblox said, quote, totally reject the claims made in the report. Financial claims made by Hindenburg Research are simply misleading. Okay, didn't SMCI say that too? And then they didn't report their earnings?
Well, yeah, when's Roblox earnings? No, that's a good point. When's Roblox earnings?
Yeah. Here, let me check that real quick. Calendar earnings. Thank you, Benzinga Pro. We have that confirmed for Halloween.
Oh, no.
Let's go. Who's dressing up as a Roblox block for Halloween? That's what I got to know right here.
There goes OTRK. There goes looking for 595. It's at 520-ish.
Wow.
See if we can get this momentum to push us up there to 595. That's what I'm looking for.
I feel bad about this because I when we were looking at this curling, I opted not to take it. I didn't sound confident on it, and here it is going.
The volume started to expand a little bit more. Just got to be careful with this one. Raise your stops on that movement. That's the way I'm playing it. I will dress it as a Roblox candle.
Should be scary. Big red candle there. Paper above 20 now. SLN. Oh, okay, that's breaking down here. Here is your caper. Wow,
Jeez.
man, real strength here.
All right, I need to look and see where this goes. I mean, well, I think
Crow,
already.
Kaka, good morning. Let's go.
Nice.
Kaka. WCT is a new IPO.
It's right on the edge of 2040. That's. We're getting into a lot of consolidation between 2040 and 21. So if we're going to see any rejection in CAPR, it's going to be between within that 20 handle. It's smoked on the caper trade. No red line yet for it to keep it out. Want to play it safe.
All right,
it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea to play it safe. Oh yeah, and then look at that OTRK. That stopped me out. So done there.
Okay,
CAPR on the other hand, this thing just keeps going.
LASE here at a spot where it might go on LASE. I see a little bit of size there at that 497. They just deleted it up to 5 now. This could go here. I missed it too.
Oh, get out your hatchet. Time for some scalping.
Jeez.
Hit a 5-year high today.
What is that? A Dow stock that he's asking about?
Yeah.
Really? Is this not? Oh no. Here, hang on a second.
Well, I'm not going to go and look at the Dow and think and try to get the answer. I'm just going to think off the top of my head what it could be.
Yeah, my thing's effed anyway. I got to report something here real quick. I'll worry about the trivia when I get the work done here. Hang on.
Let me just look at one stock because I have a thought. No, not that one. Anybody else feel like playing? Go for it. Is it IBM? Oh, nice. Oh, that's right. They've been okay. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah. Well, it's been making new 5-year highs. You know, gosh, since early September.
Okay. OTRK. Series of higher lows here. Oh, and look at this. Look at this. Nike broke 80 flush. Give me it. Just go. Just let me cover this short up real quick. Let's go.
Looks like OTRK not finished.
Sava looks like it's curling off that $30 level. Here's OTRK 13.
Still needs it's holding above 5, but need better volume than this. I don't know how high it's going to go with this volume. You need to see an expansion.
IBM was the answer. Legacy AI there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but that's been making, highs ever since it broke above 206. New highs, because that was where we were at back in 2013.
Clayton, good morning, Clayton, saying WBA Walgreens get in for the long haul 14% dividend. Yesterday I kind of poo-pooed Walgreens despite this being a Chicago institution. I have 9.27% declared for the dividend here.
This looks like a big reversal in Caper.
Why is Caper still not pulling up on my scanner? What does it not have? Maybe the relative volume because of yesterday. Doesn't look like it's 300%.
Let's see how this.
It's on there now. Never mind.
Yeah, let's see how this current candle closes. It was matching the green one that it had 5 minutes ago. I want to see how this closes, but if it looks like the green one, I think that's going to be a bit of a reversal indicator there.
Yeah, Christopher saying Walgreens is going to zero. So this is what makes a market. This is Christopher versus Clayton. I guess we could add Angela in here as well. This is what makes a market. So there you go. But I got to be honest with you. Like I said, I am a Walgreens fan. It has bailed me out of a number of emergencies. But man, oh man, that stock is impossible to own. I'll probably steer clear of that one.
Yeah, it's got a sell rating from Barclays.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I'm wrong and you make money off of it, great. As long as you have more money, that's awesome. But man, I can't I can't do it myself. Good luck to you in your trade. You know what they say, though? So, Clayton, I'm buying more Walgreens every week. So here's the thing. One of the things they will say is that, some of those biggest wealth moves, you buy it when the stock is down, not when the news is good. So I understand what you're doing there. I'm just taking a different approach. Stay focused here. Roblox, let's go down. Stay focused. It seems to me like you have a short here on Roblox. Looks like a 40 rejection there.
Maybe WBA goes to 10 and then it starts to turn around. But yeah, I'm not going to be trading this one, even though it has a great dividend, like he was mentioning. And the balance sheet doesn't look too bad. I don't know what is causing this to get hammered so badly. I saw that they had a really awful quarter last quarter.
Ton of debt. Jay Rice saying ton of debt here.
Is it just too? Is that all it is? Just too much?
Stores are closing here. Seems over the past 10 years they can't even keep stores open.
Okay, well, I don't necessarily think that means that they're going out of business, but they're just cutting down on what's bleeding them dry. Not a trade for me yet.
Clayton, I've gotten rich off dividend stocks, boys. You are in luck then, because our guest on Wednesday is part of his entire strategy is high-paying dividend stocks for quality companies. He too has a very similar experience. So you actually might want to check that out, get some more ideas from him.
I like dividend stocks too. Got a whole portfolio full of them.
Yep, me too. I love dividend stocks. Love them.
All right. Now we have OTRK putting in some upper shadows here. So I think we're getting a bit of a signal that it might be done for the time being.
The volume also kind of compressing there at the same time.
Yeah.
CHSN. JJ, let's take a look at that for you. Any idea why it's not trading today? Well, I would imagine it's halted. So this is yesterday. Resume trade, then halted on circuit breaker to the upside. Stock now down 18. So no. So this looks like this was just a halt fest. It got halted and has stayed halted. I don't have any other news on why that's the case.
Yeah.
Thing was crazy though.
So this is a prepared food, like I guess a prepared health food company. I don't have any financial, edge on this. I don't see anything on the.
Pretty sure Crow traded this one.
Okay. Yeah,
Hurricane
I don't know.
Melvin instead of Milton. Now that. Oh, wait a sec. You know what? He's in Florida.
Uh-oh.
I better reach out to him. I just promoted having the dividend guy on here. I better reach out and make sure he can get on there. I think we'll all understand if he can't make it. We all hope Tim is okay.
Looks like OTRK trying to, either make or break this level here. Trying to get back into the 525 area. I don't know that it's going to necessarily do it. I think we might get another upper shadow. Yeah, absolutely, Clayton. Absolutely. That's why they're all in my long-term portfolio. This is just a trading portfolio that we're dealing with here today. Crocs, Jelly Roll.
Mark, yeah, I hope you and your family are of course, okay. I know a couple of people that are in Florida that have been through the hurricane thing, and they are adamant that they can ride it out. It would scare me, but I don't have any experience with that, so I'm not going to tell people what to do. Hope you and your family are okay, my man.
Clayton, glad to have you with us. Hope you stick around. OTRK,
Likewise.
Here we go.
Likewise.
Here we go. We're going to see if we're going to get this breakout or not.
I might even have to trade this then. I already have gains from this name, so I might as well.
Well, it's not looking like it's particularly strong, so I'm just kind of exercising caution on this one. I'm not going to trade it.
Neither am I. It just popped there and didn't run. Up, here we go. Look at that. That's so unreal. See if this gets up to that 550 area here.
Yep. 550, and then what happens?
Serve. This was another runner from yesterday, really kind of pulling back here. Oh,
And
look, IBG
that's
looks like that new bidders, not great. And then OTRK just got broad-sorted.
That not broad-sorted, but it pulled. It's still holding above 5, but this is one of the reasons why I don't want to touch this right now. It's those wicks are telling me now's not the time. And if it is, then I'm not in it. Then that's fine. I won't lose or gain anything, but I'd rather not lose anything. It looks like CAPR just put in a new intraday high, 2056. It seems like we do have a lot of people with that live in Florida or have family in Florida. I hope everybody that's got family or that lives out there is going to be okay. Like, please listen to common sense. We want to see you guys back here next week.
No question. OTRK, I think this one might be chalked. Let's see if this comes back into VWAP.
Yeah, losing 5. Maybe it'll do stuff later, but I think we've already done so well on this one that it's just time to just say thank you very much, and we'll look at it later.
Yeah, don't overstay your welcome. Don't overstay your welcome. Roblox, by the way, trying to retake 40 to the upside.
RCAT finally putting in some red candles after having a nice morning. Let's see what happens at VWAP. I have VWAP at 326.
Might getting a mention. We looked at this yesterday. This thing got destroyed yesterday. Oh, no. This actually went up. Excuse me. I must be thinking about something else. I beg your pardon. So Might, actually good continuation after yesterday's move. Stock went from what, 420 to almost 7, and now it's at 8 here. So Might looking pretty good. What's going on with it? I don't think I know.
Oh, great mention on Rocket Labs. That is having another good day as well. So let's see. Let me take a look at one more.
We looked at that yesterday.
Getting curious here. Okay, so ASTS not moving because we saw Lunar was going. We saw that Rocket Labs going. I was like, okay, what's happening here? We've seen the space play unfold, but no, ASTS not doing a whole lot. So kind of nixed that that whole thought. CAPR still pushing 2082 now the intraday high. Zim looks like it's going to try and make a run for the 20 handle here. That's this formation. Oh wow, look at
yeah, Roblox really pushed through that 40 level there.
Okay, let's
actually see. And Nike trading back up too. That's disappointing. Zim, you were taking a look at?
So and real quick with Roblox, if this continues to go up, there's 2 spots that I'd be looking for a rejection. First is going to be 4080, and after that it's going to be between 4135 and 4165. So we have the 200 EMA at 4080. That could be a potential spot of rejection. And then we have this consolidation that we've had, since pretty much yesterday. That's going to be the next area between 4135 and 4165.
Lassie, by the way, this did move back up. We are actually at the intraday highs here, and we're starting to see that volume. We're not starting to see volume. We're starting to see the volume really kind of expand and creep back up here. Crow saying that this is about to go caca, baby. Let's see if it does.
LASC. All right. Because it'll do a breakout. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, so just got to get over this 530 level. That's actually the level I have here, and then we could get this to take us up to 555 or 590. Here it goes. Up to 540. That's the intraday high.
There it is. 5 and above and through. Let's see if they yank or they run.
Let's see. So what's it going to do? Hit 555? Is that what's going to happen here?
OTRK support at 4. Let's bring that up here real quick. Big pull. Okay, let's see what happens at the VWAP there at 430. Smoke Tuna saying the real support down there at 4. We'll see if we get a bounce at either.
LASC 550.
DJT came back in. Red-green move, it looks like.
That's good, Mike. It's a target rich day. Yes. All right. LASE Battle at 550. There it goes. Boom, 555.
And look at the volume. Look at the volume that you're getting here.
There's one level we got, 555. We get a pullback here.
BRB, one second.
What happens? No problem. But if we get a pullback or if we get some continuation here, we're looking for 590 now next. Okay, it's still going. So we have 562, 563, looking for 590 in LASE. Take care, Ara. Great job today. All right, so 574, getting a little bit of a pull here. Be careful with this one. Don't be afraid to raise your stop if you're trading. Don't want to get, we don't want this turning into a losing trade. OTRK crashed cashed your short. Nice job. Take care, Anthony. Crows out LASE. Well done. 578 is the as high as we've gone so far. We'd like 590, but if we don't get that, at least we're raising our stops, right, folks? Yes, it was a very nice call. Absolutely. And then looks like RCAT trying to turn around here. Volume's low. Rocket Lab been going sideways for about a half hour. Lunar looking like it's losing orbit. Any idea on why LASE dropped so much?
Sorry.
Hey, no problem. Any idea why LASE dropped so much last week? Well, let's see if we can figure that out. Looks like LASE not quite done yet. Still looking for 590. As far as the drop last week, let me see if I can find anything on that.
Yeah, Tuesday, October 1st, traders circulating a short report. Shares trading lower amid traders circulating a short report. And then we got one from Capybara.
So, yeah, and that, man, if you look at the price action on that one, that just, when was that, did that actually come out?
I believe that was Oct 4. Let me grab that date for again and confirm. Oct 1, excuse me.
Okay, so that would make sense for those 4 straight red days of just going right down and through the 50-day SMA. Now it's trying to recapture that. We are actually testing the 50-day SMA today. And look at this action here in LASE. Popped right over the 607, came right back in. We got our 590. Don't have any levels above this, but I can put some in. Let's just take a look to the left.
That was unreal. I was going to say the level here for me looks like 7.
Yeah, so the next level I've got for LASE is going to be 631 or 32. That is the 65 EMA on the daily chart. That's the next level I have. So it could be that one. If not there, 645 and 690.
Yeah, I've got 689 as that gap fill. AAOI calls. Shaka's got to be loving it. This actually came back to VWAP here, but I did see some calls roll across the board here. AAOI. Those actually might be a closing transaction.
Just got to put in some levels real quick here.
Sava, are we continuing here? Sava, this is a great VWAP bounce here. I'll tell you what, a lot of these stocks that we've taken a look at have given some good trading opportunities. There are only a couple that were really dogs. IBG, the biggest one. Look at this. Look at your new bidders product. You must be bitter. Huge push up to 3, came all the way back. We're going lower here on a new product offering, minus 18% here, ticker IBG. Yikes.
LASE still going higher.
Oh my God, this thing's completely vertical. You guys, please tell me you guys are booking gains into this move.
People are booking gains. I hope they're raising their stops too.
Quick $1 move right there. That is, I'm disappointed I missed this one. Damn.
I'm not in this, and I just like watching it. And knowing that some folks out there are making good money off this. That's
getting a front row seat. You're getting a front row seat to why this is such a great place to be. Front row seat. How many runners have we had today?
I can think of 3 that we've seen move. Been a good Tuesday.
And guess what? The most NHL season starts tonight. This Tuesday is going to get better. I have to get something good for dinner tonight.
Was mentioning JBDI.
Yep, that one we've taken a look at a few times recently, including today. Oh, and that's pushing the highs here. Hey, bun. We'll take that. How do you feel about SMCI? So this is a good question, because this is a stock that this group has been trading quite a bit here. Personally, I feel a little bit nervous about SMCI. We do have, obviously, they had the accounting issues there. Although this has made a pretty big run. Now we've kind of pulled back. So we're kind of, the run from yesterday did a really good job holding. We traded up here today. We've really kind of pulled back. I would not want to hold it. I would not want to do anything but trade this intraday. I am skeptical for this one for its next earnings report. I feel like we're going to get the other shoe to drop, if you will.
Yeah. Big rejection today with SMCI at the 50-day SMA.
Let me go to that on the other chart here.
Yeah, getting support from the 20. So could see some consolidation, some price action between those two areas. What's up?
Is the clean rejection off that 50-day, like you had mentioned. Clean. Yeah,
so there it could maybe pop above that and come back in. Is a bit of a gap that it's working on filling, and that fills at 51.35. So maybe upon that filling, we get more downside. But right now it's just getting support from the 20-day SMA. I personally don't feel really that great about this, especially since we're still waiting on that August earnings report.
Yeah.
And now we're coming up to another earnings report. It's great that they make all these mentions of all the CP or all the processors and machines and servers that they're selling and whatnot. But I feel like that's all for nothing if they can't show us the numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with you on that.
I don't like it until they start putting out their ERs again. That's just where I'm at with this one. Sorry if that's not what you want to hear. I just,
No, I suspect that person was going after the truth. There's you can stuff your sorries in a sack, mister. That is a Seinfeld reference for all of you Seinfeld fans out there. I know we don't have Amanda here this morning. Hope she's all right, but that was a good Seinfeld reference.
Is it possible that LASE is a short squeeze? Let's take a look. I would say sort of. And here's why I say sort of. The float shorted has a high percentage of it being shorted. I'm showing 26%. The problem is that it's got only 1 day to cover. I think this is did they reverse split recently? I don't remember what went on with this or
which one? Sorry, I was looking at Roblox, which is continuing to push highs here. LASE?
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's exactly what we're seeing. I think this is more on the
I don't have any split data for this.
Okay, so then that's that. I don't think that's what it is. I don't necessarily think that this is we're seeing. It could be a little bit of a short squeeze, but I think this is also more on a theme.
Yeah, the other thing, and I've mentioned this a number of times that we've talked about Lassie over the past few weeks, this stock is doing commercials on CNBC every day. You'll see a commercial, and it's cool. It's like they got space lasers and drone defeating technologies. It's pretty sweet. Or it looks like that. They're selling it like that, I should say.
So it's a kind of like right time, right company is where I think it's doing. And then with the short interest on the float, that's helping it.
Oh my God! Look at AGRI going vertical up to 8 cents.
And we were just
I had to do that. I had to do that.
We were just talking about agricultural stocks too. Is this one of those indoor farmers?
AGRI, AgriForce Growing Systems. I mean, this is a complete joke. Stock's 8 cents. It really needs to reverse here. But to answer your question here, Growing Systems is an ag tech company with its primary focus on developing and utilizing intellectual property assets for improvement and dedicated to the agricultural industry. A lot of jargon in there.
Goldman Sachs is saying that Disney faces $150 to $200 million blow from Hurricane Milton. Attendance is set to drop 6%. So Goldman Sachs thinking that Disney's got a big, I say headwind, but I don't think that's really appropriate to use in this case. Oh, and Ryan wasn't there to hear it either. I had a good joke, Ryan, and you missed it. And you're muted too.
I'm sorry. My nose, it just bothers me, and I don't want to keep snuffling while I'm trying to talk to you guys.
No worries.
What was the joke?
Oh, just saying that Goldman Sachs was had mentioned that Disney faces $150 to $200 million blow from Hurricane Milton. Its attendance is set to drop 6%, and so I just said they're getting faced with that headwind, even though it's probably not appropriate.
Okay, that is pretty good.
Now I feel better.
Nike rejected at that VWAP. Someone mentioned this here a second ago. It was Spiro Bill, of course. Indeed. Again, really want to see a flush here. Grouch of Wall Street, does Benzinga have a heat map to indicate which price points there is short interest? Saw Ross Cameron has something like this. So we do have a heat map. Let's do this together. Let's see if I fall flat on my face trying to do a live demonstration that I've never done before. Those are always fun.
So is he asking for like a heat map of just the short interest names?
I don't know.
Or is it just like broad sectors? Because we usually look at the broad sectors one. As far as WGS goes, you take a look at that. I'm taking a look at WGS as we were getting asked about it.
So no, really quickly here, short interest is not one of the values that you can plug in to the heat map generation. Yeah, it does have things like share float and shares outstanding, but it does not have short interest. That might, you know what, let me take a note. Maybe that is something that we could add here. I wonder what that heat map you're referring to looks like. Maybe you can email me that. Here, short interest on the heat map. Okay. We'll see. Good question. I'm disappointed I don't have a better answer for you, to be honest. Amanda, I'm sure Ryan can show you how to use the scanner to find short interest. Indeed. Amanda, hello. Did you catch I just shouted you. Your ears must be burning. I just made a Seinfeld reference that nobody got, and I was disappointed that you weren't here to get it.
Shaka, this has been having great movement, but this company just loses money left and right. What's is this like one of those companies that discovers new treatments or uses AI, something like that? I don't know anything about this company, but it's had some great moves. This is WGS that he's was talking about. This thing has just had a crazy couple of months, especially the past week.
Oh my gosh, this is almost a double from September 5th, 30 to 60. Wow. Xylo, XYLO, this stock was halted and resumed here. No, that's really thin. I've had to do my real job lots lately. Well, you're a good employee.
Not even sure why it won't stop. Okay, well, you know what? Ride that wave until it crests, I guess. This thing has got it's just completely overdone. 83 RSI. You'll know when to get out, I'm sure. LASE still okay. So we've got another series of upper shadows here. Hasn't been able to get up to 650.
Which one?
This is LASE. Yeah, so we are getting another indication that we might see a pull here, maybe down to VWAP. That's LASE. What else do we got going on here?
Smoke Tuna saying, I hope everyone listened and did not play BPTH.
Yeah,
one right here in that column. Looks like Sideshow T also did not fall victim to that. So Smoke Tuna out here doing the Lord's work. You just love to see it.
And looks like after some selling and support at VWAP, Lunar is trying to push higher. Looks like it wants to try to go for 8. Volume's not that great. Don't know what we're going to get here out of this. It might just be a quick in and out if it gets to, if it does that 8 pop. So not sure with Lunar. Just interesting because it's moving off of VWAP. Well, folks, what else are we looking at here?
Lassie might go for some new highs. OTRK still making its way back down to the VWAP. We'll see if we get another opportunity there. GGR, not a stock that I've looked at, low volume penny stock, but does look like that's trading up here. Hood, you guys talked about this one early. This has made 1, 2, 3, 4 new highs, pretty decent highs today. That still has some strength to the upside. We'll see when that actually kind of cools off. MYTE, another mention here. We actually looked at this yesterday. I didn't trade it. This went higher and is holding higher here. So MYTE looking fairly interesting as well. God knows, man. It is just murder candle in the net. Oh my God. Look at the SPY. What happened? Did we just get news?
The SPY?
SPY popping to the highs here.
Let's see here. Well,
Ross,
there's your 72 spot you were talking about.
China news here. Ross Gerber's talking about cannabis. I don't, was that just like a market move? I don't see anything here.
No, I think it's the news prior to that. I think that's what we're seeing. Did you catch that? The commerce minister in a phone call with the U.S. I think that's
one
more,
right here. 10:09. Yeah, but that's
China's commerce minister in a phone call with the U.S.
That was 30
Raimondo.
minutes prior to this pop, though. But yeah, I mean this is the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, because I don't think the cannabis, be patient news is really moving.
It's that I discarded that. Sorry if I wasn't clear.
Oh, sorry. Okay, no problem. ARM on the move in the past couple of days. Let's see what this is doing. That's not a chart. There we go.
ALTM, this is that lithium play from yesterday. This actually might be going up towards its intraday highs. That and then the after hours highs from the night before would be your levels here on ATLM. Remember, that was a rumor there on a takeover from Rio Tinto. So there might still be some stuff on that. Zune!
Hey, what's up? Oh, well, I was going to set up AB, but he looks like he just stepped out of his little chair. But what's happening? What's going on?
Man, we're just out here trying to we out here, man. We're just trying to trade some stocks.
Been a great day. I think everybody's.
It actually has been a good day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Robinhood, I know someone just mentioned it as well. We're glad to see the Robinhood thesis kind of playing out. And again, like I said, we'll see what their announcement is on the 11th. Should be some exciting stuff. But again, sometimes the market also doesn't, likes to sell the news. So who knows what's going to happen. But Aaron Bree, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. I'll put you on camera just to, mess around a little bit. But before I do, Ryan 13, any final thoughts from you?
Final thoughts. Be careful here today. Have fun. I think we wanted this one, right? There's AB.
Yeah.
What is up, y'all? How we doing?
I have a really quick question, AB. Not to pull the curtain back here, but were you just shoving somebody out of the way?
I was not shoving. We're about to cut to an in-person all-access, which is a very special event. We've only done a couple of these in our history at Benzinga, and I wanted to keep it a surprise, but you just ruined it, Ryan.
Okay. Well, and that's what thanks, AB. I didn't realize that was ruining something.
Thank
you. All right, folks.
I'll see y'all later.
Appreciate you both, Ryan.
Now I feel really bad. So my closing words are going to be, when's the next Cardinals game, maybe? Okay, peace.
Next same time as the next Cubs game.
That's what I was hoping you were going to say.
All right. Well, I teased it. Let's get into it. We are doing.
Hold on. Let me put myself in the back. Move your water bottle, or else AT will kill me. I'm in the back. Bye.
We are doing an in-person all-access today. You know what we like to do here at Benzinga, that is bring you guys exciting publicly traded companies and then speak to the executives that run those companies directly, giving you guys all this access to those companies that you wouldn't get otherwise. So it's one of my favorite things we do here at Benzinga. And today, we are speaking to a very exciting company, Dragonfly Energy, trading on the NASDAQ under ticker DFLI. I'm joined today by CEO Denis Phares. Denis, how are we doing today?
Doing great. And you did not shove me out of the way. That was
okay.
Very friendly.
Thank you. So Ryan, you hear that? It was not a shove. It was a friendly nudge, if anything. So Dennis, before we hop into Dragonfly, what are you doing in Detroit?
We're at the Battery Show.
Okay.
We're at the Battery Show here in Detroit. Great opportunity to be able to visit your studios here. So a live interview in person. Very exciting.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. So what is the Battery Show for those who are unfamiliar?
Well, over the last decade, storage and batteries and electric vehicles has become bigger and bigger and bigger. And this show, which used to be a Novi, grew so fast, it outgrew Novi last year.
Okay, wow.
And so moved into the city.
Any particular like themes or anything that you foresee being a strong point at this year's Battery Show?
Well, I think manufacturing is a big theme.
Okay.
Onshoring. I think that's hopefully we can talk a little bit about that today. But onshoring manufacturing is very important.
Yeah, we're all about bringing good high-paying manufacturing jobs back to the United
Absolutely.
States. Love that. All right, Dennis. Well, let's hop into it. Give us an overview of Dragonfly.
Well, obviously, onshoring manufacturing is a big part of what we are trying to do here. So we actually assemble battery packs today. We serve a number of industries primarily for storage rather than propulsion. But most of the technology that we develop is centered on how do you improve the manufacturing process to make it more streamlined, more efficient so that you can compete domestically.
Got it. And then I know you guys recently just signed a deal with Highway Transport, a leading liquid chemical transportation company, to use your electric APUs. Walk us through this deal and what it means for Dragonfly.
Well, this is one of those downstream industries that we are providing storage solutions for. So we're most well known for providing the house battery bank for RVs, for Thor brands, for Airstream, for Tiffin, Forest River, that sort of thing. As it turns out, we've applied a very similar storage solution, house bank solution, for the trucking industry so that fleets can allow their drivers to not have to idle while still powering all of their house loads, their air conditioners, CPAP machines, coffee makers, whatever. So Highway Transport was one of the first fleets, because we've been piloting this system for years now, for a couple of years anyway, to announce that they're turning over their fleets to this electric APU solution. So very exciting for us.
Wow. Yeah. Sounds like an exciting deal. And I know you guys also recently completed another deal worth $30 million with XIII Energy to license your Battleborn brand. How does this licensing model fit in with your larger strategy?
Well, look, this sort of emphasizes the fact that we're a pretty unique technology company. We've got product that we already sell. We've already disrupted a number of industries, including RV, working on trucking here. This is a brand licensing deal. We're actually licensing our Battleborn batteries name to XIII Energy, because XIII, which is very well known as a lead acid battery manufacturer, wants to get into the lithium-ion battery space. And they recognized they had to do it with a very well-known, reputable brand. And they identified our Battleborn batteries brand as the one to license.
Yeah, sounds like a very natural fit there. Let's talk some Tesla real quick, Dennis. So Tesla is attempting to develop new batteries for its robotaxi program. They've hit some snags and are struggling to create a process that's cost and energy efficient. What do you know about these problems that Tesla is encountering right now?
Well, Tesla obviously is a pioneering company, and they've done a lot, not just to drive the whole electric vehicle market, but to bring a lot of the manufacturing back home domestically. And part of that was bringing Panasonic in to Nevada to produce lithium-ion battery cells here. But what they did that was very forward-thinking back in 2019 is they acquired a company called Maxwell. Maxwell makes advanced capacitors, but they have a very unique what's called a dry electrode process to make their advanced capacitors, and Tesla applied it to make lithium-ion battery electrodes. So the difficulty that they've been having recently that's been reported is this extrusion process is difficult to scale. And of course, Tesla is all about scale. And once you have a new process to make a battery, there's one thing to determine, well, we can make a battery that works this well, and this is the performance characteristics. But now you have to go back and say, well, how can we make many millions of these at a time? And so that's where Tesla is right now, is how do you take this dry electrode process, this extrusion, they're basically extruding out electrodes and then laminating them onto the foil that collects the current in the battery, and they're having trouble scaling that process.
Got it. So could Dragonfly's tech help solve these scaling issues for Tesla? And if so, how?
Well, as it turns out, we've been working on this for decades. Actually, Dragonfly Energy did not start as a pack assembler. We didn't start as the Battleborn Batteries brand. The company started around dry electrode manufacturing technology. And our process is different. Our process is not an extrusion process. We're actually powder coating the electrode grains directly onto that foil current collector. And so it solves basically the scaling problems. We don't have to worry about the lamination, which is very difficult to do at scale. We don't need very expensive equipment. We can use off-the-shelf equipment basically to apply processes that we already know scale. So what we started with is what processes do we know can scale, we know can mass manufacture, and then from there, how good a battery can we make? And what we've determined to date is that we can apply these scalable processes and produce batteries that meet or exceed the performance of current industry standards.
Got it. So if you already have this process perfected down, you guys have been doing it for a while, how do you go about getting a deal with Tesla?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Look, we're getting some interest in what we're doing now. It's not just Tesla. Dry electrode in general is kind of a hot topic these days that a lot of cell manufacturers are looking at. We have been approached by a number, and it's really, for us, it's a question of capital, because as a small cap company, as a D-SPAC, obviously the last couple of years have not afforded us with unlimited amounts of capital to deploy the technology that we want to deploy. We'd actually have to focus on regrowing our revenue drivers. And therefore, a lot of this has to do with providing samples that are large enough that can be evaluated by companies like Tesla. But in terms of how do you get a deal with Tesla, I will say that that's a longer process.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal, right? To get deals with some of these big companies like Tesla. Are there any other companies that would be like dream partners for Dragonfly?
There are, and we are talking to a number. Obviously, this is the goal for us, is to sell batteries, and I think that the ability to manufacture domestically is a huge motivation for a lot of companies, because obviously you've got IRA credits, you've got the PR benefits of saying you're an American-made battery.
Right.
So we are really trying to not just manufacture here, but do it in a way that we can compete globally.
So you mentioned the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act. I mean, what have you seen so far since that was passed a couple years ago, in terms of, have you seen more companies, like the wheels start spinning on companies trying to bring jobs back? Any new plants built, anything like that, or is it a slower process?
Look how many companies announced gigafactories in the United States after that was announced. So I don't know how many are going to come to fruition, but a lot of non-American companies announced that they're going to build gigafactories in America. So I think there is sort of an unintended consequence here, because the focus really should be on American innovation, on deploying American technology, because ultimately you don't want to be reliant on technology that is developed overseas either, right? You want to be able to maintain the technology and maintain and lower the risk by ensuring that regardless of what happens, we always have the technology to produce here.
Yeah, I completely agree there. I mean, we're in Detroit right now, obviously the motor city in the United States, home to the big three automakers. What do you see as just like the general trend right now? Because I know in the last year and a half, we've seen some of the American automakers, like, I don't want to say, I guess, kind of scale back their EV goals. Do you think that's just like a snag in the road on this path toward electrifying the roads, or do you think, you know, that's like a worrisome trend that we've seen?
No, that's not worrisome. I
Okay.
mean, this is a temporary thing. This is
Yeah.
this is the direction that the industry is headed, and what the American automakers have generally done is partner with Asian battery companies.
Okay.
There was a report that just came out that said that GM is actually doing a lot more in-house technology, and they're looking domestically at innovation partners. So that's something we're looking at, obviously. But hopefully we can see more dollars being invested in American cell manufacturing.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it seems like we're heading toward this electrification journey. And if I'm buying an electric car, I want the option to buy an American electric car.
Well, you do. I mean, the thing is that we have the technology for lithium-ion batteries historically is developed here, and it has been perfected elsewhere. So we really do have to bring back the notion that we as Americans can deploy on a mass scale what we developed here, what we invented here. And I think that, you know, we're so used to getting stuff manufactured elsewhere, and we're so used to, as an investment community, for a rapid return here for a new piece of software or app or website or whatever. We've got to get back to investing in manufacturing on all levels.
Beautiful. Well, again, I love that. Bring those high-paying manufacturing jobs back to the United States. That's what you guys are trying to do. Well, we've been on the line with Denis Phares, again, the CEO of Dragonfly Energy. Denis, thanks for stopping in Benzinga's office today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the battery conference here in town. I'm sure it'll be exciting, and we'll have to stay in touch, and you'll have to come back in next time you're in town.
Anytime.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that will be a wrap on today's All Access. We do have some more great content coming your way. We have a webinar with Direction coming up. Gianni will be talking about some leveraged ETFs. So if you're trying to squeeze a little bit more alpha, more return out of your portfolios, leveraged ETFs can be the way to do that. We've got a webinar starting up right now. Shout out producer Charla for stepping in here today, helping out while AT is in Chicago for the Canvas conference. But yeah, awesome. I mean, again, very excited, very happy to speak with Denis Phares, the CEO of Dragonfly. Ticker DFLI, trading on the NASDAQ. That'll be a wrap on today's All Access. We'll catch you next time.